sponsors. It's time to start. Enjoy the show.
Welcome in, everyone, to Betting Weekly Live. It is Boxing Day, and I am delighted to be joined today by Jack Wright. I hope you've had a good Christmas, Jack, and I hope you've been enjoying the Norwich game so far.
Yeah, greetings, Steve. I'll take those in order. And everyone else who's joined us today, I've had a fantastic Christmas. It's been very, very, very enjoyable indeed. And I've been fortunate enough not to be at the Norwich game today, currently 0-0 and very 0-0. So maybe, as you said off air, a game of two halves.
Yeah, it can be very much a game of two halves. We know there's a lot of live action right now going on in the English lower leagues. Also an African nations game going on, Egypt against South Africa. But I want to welcome in everyone. I hope everyone had a great Christmas and looking to get stuck into a strong betting slate, actually, the next few days. How did you get on yesterday on the Christmas Day NFL? Let us know. Some interesting stuff, I must say. Did the Lions let anyone down of the favourite parlay yesterday? But real Brandon King, good to see you. Merry Christmas to all. Snowed in here in Toronto suburbs. Happy holidays to the guy who I can never pronounce, but we did work out his name. But I want to welcome you in. Ming Chung as well. Steve from Lynn. It's a white Christmas in Boston as well. Look at them lucky guys getting all the snow around Christmas. Joyce Vincent, hello to you. Answer 608. Feed me some winners, please, he said. That's all he wants. And Esco 9723, he's going over 2.5 goals and both teams score. Man United, Newcastle. That's the headline game today. The one Premier League game from Boxing Day. Corey Norris, morning from Chicago. Great to see you. How's Chicago? Is there any snow there? Is it cold? How's the Home Alone house doing these days? Pro Soccer Bets Club, all the best to you as well. Consistent sun in Asia. There you go. It's different wherever you are. Liverpool in the first half, he says. I mean, there's matches going on live. Have you had your eye on much, Jack? Would there be any in-running plays for anyone to get stuck into now or not? You said it was difficult.
Yeah, there's a few games that I liked initially that are still in the balance. I kind of fancied Borough at home to Blackburn. That's still 0-0, so there's a good opportunity for them. Looking at the weight of the first half, they've had more of the ball, better expected goals, more attempts, etc. So that's going kind of how you'd expect it. So I'd probably look to them at plus money, getting on Borough. Norwich, I actually fancied my team to win today against Charlton, who haven't been in the best of form, and Norwich better under Philippe Clement. Again, much the same, more the ball, more attempts, better expected goals. So it's been a bit of they hit the post, Norwich, in the first half. So you're possibly looking at them to kick on in the second half. 8 attempts, 3 on target. So I'd put them forward to sneak a win against Charlton. And I did like Southampton at Oxford at the start of the day. That one's looked a lot closer than I expected. Although Southampton have had pretty much all the ball, it looks like Oxford are doing a bit more with it. So that one I probably would keep my powder dry on. I'll keep an eye on it in play. The only other one, Hull at Sheffield Wednesday, I expected them to do that. They went behind in that one as well, like Southampton did. But again, they're just edging it. So, again, I'll keep your eyes on it while we're talking. And if anything comes up, I'll put my hand up.
Yeah, and there's an African Nations game as well. Egypt 1, South Africa 0. Mo Salah has scored. And that was an advisory bet given out on the last live show by Nigel, plus 200, I believe it was. But Egypt are down to 10 men. That's the caveat for them here. It's been there's hardly been a shot in the game. But this may well change now due to this red card for Egypt. So they're just going to probably sit in, try and defend this 1-0 lead. South Africa have got to come out now. They were playing for the 0-0 draw with South Africa, but they can't do that anymore, especially against 10 men. So let's see how that match goes on. And as a reminder of the last Daily Double winner, Nigel fired. Wouldn't be Nigel without a win-to-nil bet in there somewhere, would it? Ivory Coast win-to-nil the other day. And then Brian and Bramo over 0.5 shots on target, plus 158 Daily Double winner. That was Christmas Eve. So congrats to Nigel.
That was a long while ago.
Yeah. So we will have a Daily Double today, coming up a bit later. I'm keeping my eye on this Egypt game now. If South Africa look like they're knocking on the door, I might get involved. in some form. But again, welcome into everyone. Joyce Vincent. It's raining in what a great name this is, Kalamazoo in Michigan. It sounds somewhere like Australia, that, not Michigan. Hello from India to Akabaka. Great name as well. It's going to snow in New York later, supposedly. Claudio, good to see you. I can't believe the Premier League show is down 14 units on this platform. I can't believe it either, Claudio. I cannot believe it. But there is thankfully another half of the season to go. Corey says, have we got any takes on Rangers Motherwell? I mean, this is not Scottish football is not my expert area, Corey. So I'm afraid I probably won't have anything there. Steve from Lynn said Marmouche has 9 shots in the first game. These games have varied wildly. This is the first one actually where it's genuinely in sort of desert conditions. Steve from Lynn is in Agadir, which is the driest place in Morocco right now, about 20 degrees Celsius, not mega hot, but it's the first real match where there's been any sort of heat, traditional desert, and maybe we've seen traditional African nation stats. All right, we've seen a goal, which is unusual, but we haven't seen much action. So you got to have a look at the weather forecast for these games. But we're going to crack on with some bets today. We'll start, actually, in the Championship. There's one late game which hasn't kicked off yet, and it's a tasty one. Wrexham against Sheffield United. Wrexham, the darlings of the screen over in America, the Disney or whatever. They've got quite a lot of American fans now, that's for sure. But they're the dog here at home to Sheffield United, plus 205, plus 116 for Sheffield United. The ties plus 215. Sheffield United have been much improved in the last couple of months, that's for sure. But the last time they were on the live show, they let a lot of us down. They didn't perform at West Brom. It was maybe a game too far for them. Are you having this, Jack? I mean, Sheffield United favourites plus 116. Is that fair here? It's not often you might say Wrexham are a bit of value in this league. Some might argue that case today.
They might do. I'm going to go. I would go with Sheffield United. I do think they're a nice price at plus money. They have the better squad. They have a better form. There's a big miss for Wrexham. Liam O'Brien is out, injured himself last time. So he's going to miss a few weeks. He's key in the centre of the park. And for Sheffield United, they've been keeping Gus Hamer, one of my favourite players, kind of wrapped in cotton wool over the last few weeks, but they've unleashed him over the last couple of games. Expect him to be involved today, and whenever he's involved, for me, he's a bit of box office, really. To be fair, be it shots on target, he's minus 115 for a shot on target. I've been keeping my eye on that because he was plus 110. But there's been a bit of money for him, as there tends to be. I've cashed on him the last couple of weeks personally. He's still at minus 115. That's still a play. If you can get on him at minus 115, anything from minus 120 or better, I'd take. Goal plus 340, goal or assist plus 180. But you look at the stats, and Wrexham do have a very solid home record, undefeated in 8 games on home soil. They have been a little bit fortunate in the last couple. Added on time equalisers in both their last 2 home games. And I just think Sheffield United have got the quality to make the most of that and go on and win the game. I'd probably expect both teams to score in this one. I expect Sheffield United to edge it. So they've been in better form. They had a little wobble, didn't they? As you said, the games were coming a little bit thick and fast for them, where they were playing Saturday, Tuesday. Then they went Saturday, Tuesday, Friday. Chris Wilder moaned about it. They lost a couple of games. They bounced back and won the last couple. Last time out against the other FC Hollywood in the Championship, which was Birmingham, they brushed them aside easily. And I think that they will get a win. It is tough going to Wrexham, but I think they've got enough in them. The likes of Callum O'Hare, Gus Hamer will come to the party, and I think that they will edge this one.
Interesting one here. I'm just looking at the latest odds actually for the match, and Sheffield United have been on a fantastic run, and there's a question that's come in. It's quite a legit one, really. Why have Sheffield United improved? I mean, the best explanation I can probably give is that they always had the quality anyway. Really, I mean, pre-season they were one of the favourites to go up. They just had a really bad start. Sacked the manager, brought back Chris Wilder. Is it just simply a case of that, Jack, or has Wilder done something differently?
I'd say it's generally you've hit the nail on the head there. To be honest, you could argue the same thing with Southampton under Will Still. They were performing well as far as their underlying data was concerned. They should have been winning games and they didn't. For Sheffield United, maybe a little bit of a hangover from last season. Obviously, they had Wilder, lost in the playoffs, sacked him, brought in Ruben Sayas. It was never a good fit. The crowd didn't really warm to him. Obviously, the Sheffield United fans love Chris Wilder because he is one of them. He is a Sheffield United fan. And I just think though they go so very well together. And it took a little bit of time to get the traction going, but they are a side that have, when they gain momentum, it's tough to stop them. And so they do have the players. They have got the players for certain that should have been performing a lot better. And the likes of Balastu's come in. He's been out. Arblaster's been out. He's like, they're getting some of their better players back, and that's crucial at this level. And they've got some decent strength in depth in those forward areas. So, yeah, I think it's just pretty much what you said. Yeah, something we were waiting for it to happen. They go above Wrexham with a win tonight, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them kick on to get towards those top 6 places.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a question about this match in the African game over corners. I hope you took it because there's been like 3 corners in the South African game in the last 3 minutes. They are starting to really knock on the door territorially. There's now been 6 corners in the game. Actually, make that 7. I think there might be another one here right now. If you're going to bet on the corners, you might as well bet on South Africa corners. Egypt don't look like getting out of their own half at the moment. So you can actually get over 7.5 South Africa corners is at plus 130. You would need 4 more corners from South Africa before the end of the game. That's doable. The only problem is if they do equalise, it could completely change the dynamics of the game. Yeah. South Africa to score in the game now, by the way, minus 132. That would be an interesting bet for people out there right now. But I'd rather take that than the over goals market because Egypt are just time wasting galore. They're trying to hold on to the 1-0. Steve Ronaldo likes Harmer to assist as well. I mean, he is possibly the best player in the Championship, Jack, or one of them.
Yeah.
On these days.
Yeah, I think he's an exceptional player. Liked him ever since he came over. He joined Coventry, and he's box office. You're always going to get involved in the game with him. Shots on target, cards if you can play that market, goals, and he drives them on. And he's been stuff. It's a bit curious why he wasn't playing. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes, be it a niggle, an injury, or a fallout, which is possible with Chris Wilder. But yeah, when he's on it, he's a man to watch, and I would be shocked if he's not heavily involved tonight.
Okay, and just give a correct score prediction if you had to give one for the game.
A bit of a boring one, but I'd go for 2-1 Sheffield United.
2-1 Sheffield United. There we go. Pro Soccer Bets Club says Hull in play is a bet for him at plus 140. And we certainly did mention the Salah to score bet. That was a really, I mean, he has been overpriced actually in this AFCON so far. 2 goals so far in 2 games. And I'm sure that has not made the bookies very happy. Bet Rivers are not too happy with that, Jack, overall. But talking of Bet Rivers, there's a great offer going on at the moment until January the 11th. This is the Betting Weekly bonus bet promo. And I know loads of you have already used this. But for those who haven't or who don't even know about it yet, this is, if you've got your eyes on a plus money bet at Bet Rivers, Betting Weekly, we're giving you a bit of extra pizza money to lock it in. Use our pizza money bonus code, Betting Weekly 1218. That's in capitals. It's on screen there. And you get a $10 bonus bet to use on any plus money play at Bet Rivers. That's Betting Weekly 1218 in capitals there. You've got till January 11th to redeem that code at any US Bet Rivers or Sportsbook. So make use of it for those who can do it. And I know loads of you have already. RHM, Steve Jack, please help. Man United Newcastle over 2.5 goals. Do you think it's a banker or risky? RHM, you are in luck because we're going to go straight in to that Manchester United game now. It's incredible. It's Boxing Day, but there's only one Premier League game, Jack. I don't think I've ever known this in my whole time. But one match is better than none. And it is an absolute proper pick'em, genuine pick'em with the books right now. Plus 160 for Manchester United. Newcastle have actually just gone into plus 155. Very, 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 very slight favourites. The tie at plus 255 is quite big, actually, when you consider the money line odds. That's an intriguing one. Over 2.5 goals is at -180. Okay, the big game of the day in the Premier League. This is a 3 p.m. kickoff time, Eastern. How do you see this one going, Jack? Let's first of all talk about those money line odds. And is there a side at the moment? I mean, I want to talk about the tie at +255, actually. Normally, when you see +160 each, the tie would be about +210, +220. Why is the tie so big?
I don't really know. It's a tough one. Again, you asked me about how this one's going to go, who's going to win it. I would really, I'm going to say we're going to pull out the cliches and say exactly what we've seen on the books there. I would really struggle to pick who'd win it. It is a complete pick 'em, and therefore, surely, if you're going to struggle to work out who's going to win it, then you've got to have some interest in the tie, and I certainly would have, because Newcastle's road form has been shocking, for want of not without over egging it. It's not been anywhere near good enough for them, and they continue to struggle on the road. The odd kind of shoots of recovery, it seems, and then that gets dashed. And they were terrible against Sunderland. And Manchester United have been a lot more consistent this season. It's kind of stumbled on some systems that work. They've played well, especially going forward. But the trouble is, you're always living on your kind of sitting on the edge of your seat watching Manchester United. If you've got a pro Man United angle, if you're holding a ticket with them to win, you always worry that their defence is just going to open up and cave in. And with Newcastle's forward line, that could certainly happen tonight. So if you're asking me which way would I go, if you would give me a $50 free bet on this one, on the result, on the outcome, it would go on the tie.
I'd go Newcastle. I think Manchester United. I mean, we've got to talk about the absences for the game as my cat gets. Come here, settle down. She's getting very excited.
She heard the free bet. She heard me say free bet, and that's it. In it comes.
Absences for Man United. And Mbuemo's on international duty. Maswai is on international duty. So is Diallo. Bruno Fernandes is out potentially for a month. That's a massive blow for United. I can't imagine Man United without Bruno. He's just always been in the side. Long-term injuries, of course. Maguire, Mainu. And I mean, Newcastle do have injuries too. Again, most of them are pretty long-term. The way I see this game, Jack, is that I think the absences for Man United are more important. And Mbuemo's been their best player this season. Fernandes always digs them out of a hole. So if I had to pick anyone, I would absolutely go Newcastle. But their away form does concern me, like you say. I know. I mean, I'll talk about corners in a minute, but we'll go back to the match lines here, and people have been asking about over or under goals. Ultimately, is this over 2.5 goal line? It's -180 now with Bet Rivers. Is it a trap, or is it just one of those obvious bets? Because United games are, I think, one of the most watchable in the last few weeks, and Newcastle are pretty decent as well in that capacity. There is still plenty of firepower in the sides, even if Man United are depleted to a degree. Do you like the over still?
I do. The big question here is, did I disguise the fact that Norwich scored to take the lead while you were asking me that question? And did I not show it? Did my poker face stand firm there at that point in time? I don't think it's a trap. No, I just think that I'm not massively convinced with the Newcastle defence, especially on the road. Ramsdale's in goal, not played a lot of regular soccer, and I think that shows. Replacing Pope. They've got probably Miley or someone like that as a fullback. And Dan Burnout is a big miss for more than one reason. So I think those defensive ones as well, as said, maybe Joe Linton missing in the middle of the park. So I think there's goals to be had against Newcastle. And can you see Man United keeping a clean sheet with, again, that defence as well looks wide open. They look a bit susceptible from set pieces, which they should be against Newcastle tonight. But they do still, as much as those absentees are going to worry, and I've seen it there in the chat, going to worry people as far as can Man United score, you've still got to look at it. They've got Cunha in there, who's a sensational talent. He's proved it in the last couple of seasons in the Premier League, and he's looking a little bit more back to his best now. He's getting more game time, and he will thrive on the fact that he is going to be the main man in that side today. Sesko has scored goals. and was a decent money signing. Let's not forget he's still going to be playing up front. And I thought Mason Mount has caught my eye over the last few weeks as a player that's looked a little bit back towards his best. When he was playing for Chelsea and playing well, he was one of the best players in the league. So I think without doubt they've got that ability in those forward areas to score against Newcastle and vice versa. So I think this has to be goals in this one tonight. I'd be shocked if there's not.
I think there's goals as well. And to be honest with you, I think Newcastle could cover that goal line all by themselves over 2.5. I really do. I mean, look at this Manchester United expected 11, right? I can put question marks on all their defenders and wide players. Seriously, I can. Right, the goalkeeper's been okay, to be fair, but he's nothing special. Yoro and Shaw, for me, have too many switch-off moments. The lad at the back, Heaven, in fairness to him, actually looks all right, but he's a young lad. Dalot on the right, I like Dalot. I think he's one of the best players on the field for Man United today. Casemiro and Ugarte, again, too many sloppy moments, especially Ugarte.
Yeah.
Dorgu, honestly, this guy is not good enough for Manchester United. I think he's terrible defensively. He's not much better offensively either. Cunha and Mount, I think there's goals in those two, both in good form. Mount especially, as Cunha might be a shots thing. Sesko, all right, he hasn't delivered yet, but if we base it on his whole career, maybe now's his chance. He can be given a run in the team if he brings back his RB Leipzig form. So there's goals in the Man United team. I think they can concede goals, that's for sure. Newcastle as well. We know that right back could be an issue for them. They're getting to put a midfielder in that spot, and there's no Dan Burn. Shah's been up and down with his fitness. I really like the corners in the game, and Newcastle are the king of corners in the Premier League. The most corners average of anyone, over 10.5 corners, is -125. Manchester United's corner average is more on the lower side, but I think missing Diallo and Mbeumo is going to actually help Man United corners. Those two guys just always cut inside. They're never ever looking to go outside, not once. So I think without those, they should get a bit more width naturally compared to the two players that are absent. So over 10.5 corners, -125. The ladder's definitely coming out here, Jack, today for corners for me.
Love it.
Over 11.5 corners at +123 and over 12.5 corners at +188. Bet Rivers, by the way, offering all the way up to 15.5 corners for those who really want a Christmas special. But this ladder's just going to be 3 rungs for me. I think we're going to get a really exciting game, end to end.
I think, Steve, this game has got same game parlay written on it. For those you same game parlay fans, I think you're going to get a bit of everything in this one. You're going to get goals, you're going to get corners, and there's players in there that will be throwing the fouls in as well. The shots on target,
well.
shot numbers, are going to be high. I think anything you want to throw in there, I wouldn't really put you off it. So go for a bit of both teams to score. Go for some over goals. Go for the over corners in there. Cunha shots on targets. Casemiro fouls committed. And plus, you've got Guimaraes fouls committed as well. So if you can play those lines, get involved in them. But whatever way you approach this, I think it's overs in pretty much any of those metrics that you can play on that same game parlay, and you could rack up something quite tasty.
I think you could. It's cue the 0-0. But I didn't even I mentioned corners there. Both sides could be vulnerable from set pieces, especially with no Dan Burn around. I think I could see definitely a goal from a set piece in this game from someone, at least one. So there you go. Mindy Pirar says Malik Tior header 20-1. Is that a header to score a header, presumably?
Header goal, I'd imagine.
I'd imagine just for a header on target would be a big one. There you go. You could look at some centre backs here. I'm just going to see some of the comments. Louis Silver, great to see you, and Ray Burke today as well. Steve from Lynn likes Gordon score assist at +180. He is a player on my radar, Steve, because he's on the penalties and he's actually scoring the penalties as well. And he's in good form. He just looks sharp. So I like that bet as well a lot. He's definitely someone you could throw into the ring.
I'll tell you what you like here, Steve, and you've mentioned it already, and a couple of commenters mentioned it as well. You look at those Manchester United defenders and you go Dorgu, Shaw, Yoro, Heaven to a certain extent because he doesn't mind sliding in, and Dalot. There's moments there where they do look that pretty much all of those are prone to giving away a penalty, having a switch-off moment, a sloppy tackle, a missed-time tackle, throwing Casemiro and Ugarte into the mix. And you've got half that team that could give a penalty away. And as you've said there, Gordon is the man at the moment, and he's been sticking them in as well. So we'll still be on penalty duties. So, yeah, I think that's an interesting angle of attack, certainly there.
That's the problem with these Man United players. They switch off too often. They do have some good moments, and then they just not lose their heads. It's like a switch off. Blizzard-like conditions in Toronto, says Leslie Mack. That doesn't seem the place to be, unless you want a lot of snow. Very nice-ish. Welcome in. On the draw all day. Can't see either team winning. We did have a crazy 4-4 draw, didn't we, at Old Trafford recently against Manchester United. Efri Brilovsky says the Newcastle team total over 1.5 is very appealing, and I would agree. Absolutely agree.
And don't forget, Nigel's got an official play on this one tonight, so you've got time to check out the Premier League show and see what he says on this one. I've just got a lean, but he's official. He couldn't wait to get in the programme.
Pro Soccer Bets Club says it's a trap. Unders purely due to the injuries and absences. A guy called A, good to see you. Hope you had a good Christmas. Surely Walter Mata goals on the ladder. I mean, yeah, I think he's going to make a big nuisance of himself in Big Nick. He's up for the fight. It's a nice matchup for him. He should be scoring in a game like this, Nick Walter. What I'll say is, though, that Wyss is now back, and I think at the minute it's just going to be Voltemada and Wyss doing split carries as such in NFL terms. I don't see them both on the field together unless Newcastle need a goal. I just think the manager is basically using them both as the supposed 9 right now. I'd like to see them in the same team, but I don't see how Newcastle have never gone 2 up top under Eddie Howe that I can remember, unless they're like chasing the game last 10 minutes. You could play Wyss on the right-hand side, which would be an interesting dynamic. But that's the problem. Nick Waltemada might only get genuinely about 65, 70 minutes here today. That's the issue. He's not a lot. He's certainly not a lock for 80 plus minutes anymore. So any other bets for this Man United game, Jack? It's actually going to be the first part of your daily double, over 2.5 goals, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So that's the main sort of angle for you there. Do watch the Premier League show. Best player prop for the game, if you had to have one.
I've mentioned it on the Premier League show, so go and watch that.
Oh, there you go then.
that was my lean. That was my lean for that one. I was just quickly seeing here. I like, again, it'd be more of a same game parlay. I couldn't put them as singles because the price has moved on it. The player props I like with these two sides are the fouls in the centre of the park. Bruno Guimaraes, Carlos Casemiro, both over 1.5. Guimaraes is minus 165 and Casemiro is minus 141. As I say, that's right on the edge as far as if you're playing those as singles. But if you put them together, plus 175. So that's 2 or more fouls each, and you're getting plus money there. I think that you might get a run for your money. I think it's going to be a little bit of rough and tumble in the middle of Old Trafford.
I think it's going to be a really spicy Boxing Day clash. I've linked the Premier League show there. You can watch that. And do check out Extra Time as well. We've got a whole Serie A card to preview this weekend. Both shows are on YouTube. Real Brandon King likes Effie's pick there. It covers for the 2-2 draw. And a bit of pizza money with Big Nick and Cunha to score with the corners over. They say my best bet of the day is that over 10.5 corners in the Man United game, minus 125. We're going to talk a little bit of AFCON now. Well, we've got Zambia Comoros kicking off in half an hour's time. I have to say, I think it's the hardest game of the day, actually, in AFCON, this one. But I do believe that Zambia might be worth a little nibble on the money line here, just simply because they are the better team. And I think it's must-win territory. They've got Morocco to play in the last group game. Maybe they might end up playing a rotating Morocco there, but you don't want to be needing a victory or points against the host nation, do you? They're actually plus 140 now, Zambia. I think they're a smidgen of value there. But Comoros will give it absolutely everything to get a point at this tournament. That's the thing. So that's why I would not bother about handicaps and stuff. I think Daka is also worth a go to score any time. Patson Daka, former. Is he? Where is he now? Is he still at Leicester? Former Leicester.
He still is at Leicester. He's still at Leicester.
Isn't he?
Yeah, mad. Yeah,
Plus 270 to score. His record for his country is brilliant, and against Comoros, that, and he scored in the last game as well. But plus 270 looks a big price on Patson Daka. Zambia did not impress me last time out, Jack, I must say, at all. But they are a better team than Comoros. So, but this is not a match to get heavily involved in personally. I think it's the hardest game of the day in the AFCON. An update on this Egypt game, by the way, it's still 1-0 to Egypt. They actually came into the match a bit more. The corners count now is 6 for South Africa and 4 for Egypt. So I still think there's more corners in this game. There's 20 minutes plus stoppage time to go. And I don't know what the corners line is right now, but I'll be on the over almost blind, whatever it is. I think there'll be at least 3 or 4 more corners in the game, the way this dynamics are going. Is anyone else here waiting for Hull City on the money line? They must be dominating. They must be dominating the game. Just looking at the scores now in the Championship, there's certainly been a few goals around today. But Hull City,
I've got one play right now, and I'm putting another goal at Oxford Southampton. Both sides going for it, it seems. I've just looked at the weight of pressure, and it's showing up as a play for me on that one. 1-1. Oxford towards the bottom will go into the bottom, be in the bottom 3. Southampton, this would be massively a case of points dropped if they don't pick up the win here. So both going for it. Stats back it up, and at the moment it's plus 105 for another goal in that game. Oxford Southampton.
Wouldn't be a good day to be a Port Vale fan, would it? They're 5-0 down against Huddersfield. Not many worse places to be 5-0 down, I don't think. Than
every dog has its day.
But Gratzer 1906, he says 13 of the 14 AFCON games have now gone over 8.5 corners and 12 out of 14 over 9. Yeah, basically, I think what's happened, Gratzer, is this has not been traditional AFCON so far. The games have not been played in any heat, so there's been a faster pace of games. The pitches are really good. The stadiums are good. I feel like the players are getting looked after much better than normal. I think they're enjoying it. So this is why a lot of favourites have won, by the way, as well. We've hardly seen a dog actually win a game, by the way. So I think that's explanations. I think that's led towards. I've noticed corners in the first half of a lot of games, not this one, have been up, and it's because teams have come up to a fast start. They've had a lot more energy about them, so I think there are actually some explanations for it. The final African game today is going to be the second part of the Daily Double. We've got Morocco, the host nation, against Mali. Morocco minus 220, Mali plus 650, and the tie is plus 295. Over 2.5 goals is plus money. Both teams score yes is plus money. They did the job, did Morocco in game week 1 against Comoros 2-0. It should have been more, really. Mali also getting off to a winning start. How do you see this one going, Jack? And who are you backing in your second part, your Daily Double?
Yeah, there's not much behind this other than the fact that Morocco are the better side. They're one of the favourites to win it, and they've got home advantage. So it's obviously where the tournament's being played, isn't it? So, yeah, for me, it's simply a case of that they will get it done and win. And I'll put that as part of a Daily Double. I've been trying today to work ways around how I can get them on side as a single, but put it with the double there is what I've put forward to get us to plus money, plus 123 on that one. I just think they say they will get the job done here. I don't know what you think about it. Is there any kind of scope for there being an upset? Do you see here any justification?
I've had exactly the same conundrum, Jack. I'm trying to work out how to get with them in a single because it's really hard. Like Morocco winning under 3.5 goals is a bet I'll be looking at here, but it's minus 143 with Bet Rivers. It's actually shorter than it was in the opening game against Comoros. So it's almost like the books have wised up. Bet Rivers have wised up to this. Then I was looking at just maybe a single on under 2.25 goals. But then I want that. I'd like that 2-1 or 3 on my side. The minus 1 Asian handicap would probably be the direction I would go in if I was to have a single bet on them. Because that is the odds are more viable. I think it's around about even money or was. Let me just check the latest line with Bet Rivers. -1 Asian handicap is -122. So that's short as well. It's not often I say it, but the actual money line on Morocco at -220 might be the best bet. I mean, that sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? But just on the money line at -220.
Keep it simple.
Yeah,
keep it simple. The one bet there, get Morocco on side that you haven't mentioned yet. You've covered all the ones I've looked at as well, trying to get the goals, under goals, and so the Morocco win on there. The only other one was Morocco halftime, full time, but I just got put off a bit the fact they couldn't land that in the first game, and I'm wondering if this could go a similar way where it's a bit of a grind for them to get there and get it done. That was the only other one that I toyed with. As I said, it's a real tough one. And sometimes you have to admit defeat and go, do you know what? I actually can't find a one that I'm happy with. Although I expect Morocco to win, I can't quite get that onside. So as I said, I'm happier to use them to boost a price on something else, which is say something I fancy a bit shorter. Hence why it made the daily double.
Yeah, that's the official daily double. Morocco to beat Mali and Man United Newcastle over 2.5 goals plus 123. So I'd certainly like that one as well. I believe the final score in the Morocco game will be 1-0 or 2-0. I'm not expecting Mali to offer too much here. They do have a guy in form up front, Sinioko, the Auxerre man, but I just think their overall tactics here will let them down. They'll come in too negative. Morocco sometimes do labour towards a win, but with genuine home advantage in their own stadium. Very similar conditions to the first match. There's going to be some rain around. There's been like a permanent rain cloud over Morocco, it seems, in this African Nations event. But again, it's I think that probably suits Morocco at this point in time rather than Mali.
Win to nil, Steve, plus 102.
Minus money now, -117. So everything's
win to nil?
Yeah, Morocco. Oh, sorry. Is that? Yeah, I was doing Morocco winning both teams score. No, so the win to nil option is there, isn't it? Then.
Yeah. Scroll down the end to game props, and it's the third option down it, and you do get a better price than going both teams to score no. So yeah, plus 102, Morocco win to nil.
All right, that would I forgot about that. In the Bet Rivers do offer now the win to nil as a separate thing, don't they, on the game props?
Yeah.
So that's far more attractive as obviously as a plus money play. In terms of AFCON for the weekend, I'll just share with you now. I think. Some good bets on Saturday and Sunday. I think there's some real value to be had in the Nigeria-Tunisia game. I am looking at Tunisia moneyline plus 240 or draw no bet at plus money because I think they're the better team. I think Nigeria, they've got your Osimhens of this world, you've got your Lookmans of this world. Their defense looked vulnerable against Tanzania, and Tanzania scored against them. And I tell you what, a better team than them would definitely cause problems. Tunisia are brilliant from set pieces. They've got big guys in there. You can actually probably, if there's a team to shut down Osimhen or the general system, it would be Tunisia. I think they're a massive price. They're tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time, Tunisia, moneyline or draw no bet. And another bet that I do like on the 20th is on Sunday. This is the early kickoff on Sunday. I like Gabon to beat Mozambique. I thought they gave a really good account of themselves against Cameroon. On another day, they could have got something there. Aubameyang has had more time to recover. He came on in the 35th minute. He should be sharper. Bouanga looked good. Mozambique, they've got to be beating Mozambique in this African Cup of Nations after, because their final group game is going to be quite a tough one. So for me, best two bets over the weekend in AFCON would be the Tunisia angle and also the Gabon angle there. Quite like Senegal as well tomorrow, but -134 against Congo. But I think Congo are a bit of a dark horse as well, and a draw might suit both teams. But if Senegal really put the foot down, that -134 could look really good. Uganda against Tanzania, said Captain Slugger. There's always someone after a game, isn't they, in the tougher one. Do you know what? I actually don't know. That's one of the games I struck a line through it, Captain Slugger. I couldn't give you a bet in it. Maybe because both teams might feel like it's a must win, then you could look at both teams score, yes. The Dan Roebuck theory that he put up on Christmas Eve for these sort of games. But that I think pretty much concludes it for today. I want to remind people again about the pizza money $10 bonus bet on Betting Weekly here. This is the code. If you've got your eyes on a plus money bet at Bet Rivers, Betting Weekly, giving you a little bit of extra pizza money to lock it in. Use the bonus code Betting Weekly 1218 in capitals to get a $10 bonus bet. You can use it on any plus money play before January 11th. If you've not already, then do use it wisely as well. We've given several plus money potential plays out on today's show. So yeah, and what they got to do, Jack, we've got to watch the Premier League show as well. There's a lot of picks. I'm just looking at the picks on the Premier League show this week. There is 8 official picks on the Premier League show, and I think there is 6 official picks on Extra Time as well. So you boys are really getting stuck in this Christmas.
Yes, a feast.
An absolute feast. So I would normally say, give me your best bet for the weekend in the Premier League, but you just got to watch the Premier League show. It's as simple as that. I'll give you a bet for the weekend, actually. I disagree with you guys on the Premier League. I think Leeds are worth watching at Sunderland. I tell you, right, I honestly, for me, Sunderland, I know there's a few Black Cat fans who watch this show. Before they get their absences back from the African Cup of Nations, Sunderland surely have to slip up, in my opinion. They cannot keep it up with 5 of them as regular starters. They've overachieved with their metrics most of the season anyway. Can this keeper really keep up his great form? I've seen Bruce in every single team of the season so far.
Yeah.
The defence probably can maybe keep up its overachievement because of the way it plays, but one of the best defenders is out, Ronaldo. He's been really good for me. I don't think he'll be at Sunderland next season. And at the moment, I am opposing Sunderland blind on the main Asian handicap line. I'm 1 unit down because Brighton let me down against Sunderland. But I am, and it's not often I like Leeds away from home, but I do here. We know what it's like at the Stadium of Light. We've been there recently in the last couple of years, so I don't think the Leeds players will actually be intimidated. So I am making a case for Leeds United this weekend at Sunderland. It's dangerous, but I do believe that you guys were wise not to have any official units in that game. So,
yes, we might have been. And I'm looking forward to your tweet, or whatever you want to call it these days, straight after the final whistle at the Stadium of Light, where you'll either be crowing and gloating about how you called it, or you'll be calling for Daniel Farker's head again.
No, well, actually, yeah, because I'm sorry, but Leeds should be getting something. When a team is that much depleted, you've got to take advantage of it. And I don't care how poor this away record is from Leeds. It wouldn't be acceptable to get something, in my opinion, at that ground. Normally, obviously, if it was full strength Sunderland, I wouldn't get involved. Yeah, I'd probably be the other way. But for me, Team News ultimately has to have an ultimate conclusion in these sort of things. But anyway, before we go, some more comments here. Captain Slug, West Ham and Leeds wins coming. Here, so he's liking the West Ham Leeds double. Would pay pretty well for this round. Steve from Lynn, when the EPL starts, I'm not betting AFCON. It's too much of an unknown for me. Do you know what, Steve from Lynn? What I'll say there, stick to what works best for you. And that involves, and that's everyone out there, whatever sport you bet in, whatever markets you bet in. There's no harm in experimenting sometimes, but ultimately what works for you you've got to know that, haven't you? And as for Equatorial Guinea versus Sudan, I am actually going to officially pass on that one, Captain Slugger. Honestly, those two sides, neither of them looked any good to me in the first games. So I can't really give you anything there. Villa fan 20. Happy Christmas to you. I hope you had a great Christmas, Villa fan. Hope you're doing well, Adam. Just joined. And Christmas Day was not bad for me. Boxing Day, I was out in the hills today on a walk, Jack. You might have seen it on the promo video. Beautiful day in Yorkshire today. So I did 11 Ks in the hills.
Well, very good. First of all, I was distracted. 2 goals in the Championship. 1 didn't really matter. West Brom 1, Bristol City 2, but Oxford 2, Southampton 1. We got the goal in the game we said about.
Oxford are beating Southampton.
It did not go in the end that we expected it to, but I did say they were both going for it. 15 shots, 16 shots, 7 on target for Oxford, 19 shots, 5 on target for Southampton. A goal had to come, and it did in the 89th minute. We'll take that. Yeah,
I'm just looking at the scores. Yeah. West Brom have scored in the league. 4-0 Luton? Where's that come from? I think a lot of Luton fans have been waiting for that performance for a long time. Oxford 2, Southampton 1. It's still 1-0 to Egypt. I had a feeling they might hold on here, Egypt. They're just that sort of nation who know how to get it done, don't they? But there's still time left in the game. I reckon there'll be quite a bit of injury time as well. Ivory Coast, Cameroon. Ivory Coast win that for me. Captain Slugger. I'm not convinced by Cameroon, even though the likes of Mbuemo are doing it all right. Troy
had a host of problems, haven't they? Cameroon,
yeah,
I think that can't be underestimated, undervalued.
The overall quality of Cameroon kind of got them through the Gabon game, but I thought a draw was a lot fairer in that one. But Troy Murphy, good to see you and appreciate the kind comments there. We have a lot of people watching from Boston. We've got a lot of people out there in Boston, so hope you've had happy holidays. King's Son, Y2G. On a side note, here's a great bait for today. Canada versus Czechia, World Juniors. Huge odds on the Czechs to win or draw. Game is played in Minnesota. World Juniors. This is soccer?
Which sport? My notes here. I haven't got that one listed.
This is the most random bet of the day.
I've not got that one.
What sport are we on here, Kingston? This is intriguing. This is a proper Boxing Day bet, isn't it? This is. We're going to get all sorts of randomness. But anyway, Jack, it was a pleasure. We'll leave it there. With no Betting Weekly live over the weekend. We've got Betting Weekly live US, I do believe, is on today, though. So join the boys at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Mike Carver and Doug Kazirian. I'll be back. I don't even know the rota yet for next week. I should know it, shouldn't I? I don't even know if I'm on Monday or not. Jack, I don't even know. I'm going to find out before I go. I'm
on Monday. It's the 29th, isn't it? I'm on Monday.
Yeah, 20. Oh, that's January's rota. I can't find the rota.
We're not there yet. We're not there.
Are you on Monday? You on Monday?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're back to back then, Jack. So looking forward to that.
You asked for, yeah.
It's me and you again, according to producer John behind the scenes. I'm looking forward to that one then. Hopefully there's something tasty. That's in the hockey, by the way, Kingston says. So let's keep her on that one. Good luck, everyone. Betting today. Go on, Jack.
No, I was just wondering what was happening in the Egypt game because the market's suspended. I was just trying to see.
I've not been watching. I've been looking at the rota. I'm trying to see what's happening. There's a substitution going on. Yeah, Mo Salah's coming off the field. That's why.
Suspend the market.
He's coming off the field. What has happened here in the Egypt game? I'm not sure. But there's going to be time added on. It's been that sort of fixture. But I do want to say good luck to everyone who's betting today and over the weekend. Enjoy this period. And we'll be back all of next week, every single day next week on Betting Weekly Live. And do join, Mike and Doug later. Jack, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you Monday.
Thank you.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Reminder of the Daily Double before we go. There we go. Daily Double, plus 123. Morocco to win and Man United Newcastle over 2.5 goals. My best bet is over 10.5 corners in the Man United game. What's your best bet of the day, Jack? Is it the double?
Of course it is. It's the double. That is the best bet.
Saved you there. Best bet of the day. Take care, everyone. But gamble responsibly. And I'll see you Monday on Betting Weekly Live. Take care.